All right, so I want to talk about the primary or the caucuses that went on Saturday in the Republican Party. Now, especially with Kansas, though, if you looked at the polls, there was one recent one that had Trump up by 12, one recent one that had him up by 5, or I think 5 or 6, and then the exit polls had him up by 8, which means they asked the people as they leave the voting booths what who they voted for and shit. And no, polls aren't 100% accurate. I'm not a dumb fuck there, so don't go comment. Oh, polls aren't 100% right. Don't comment that, please. Can somebody explain like the 30 percentage swing in the polls in like a few days, and then the exit polls were again like a 35 percentage point swing? I mean, if you look at all the polls in this election, none have been that far off. I mean, give me a break. I mean, looks like it's voter fraud to me. Election fraud, whatever you want to call it. Looks like they rigged the polls for Ted Cruz, because they see Ted Cruz as the most viable option to either beat Trump or to take away delegates from Trump. See, they might be just using Ted Cruz as a way to take away delegates from Trump, and then when they get to a brokered convention, put in somebody like a Marco or a Jeb Bush or a Mitt Romney, maybe even. So you never know what they're going to do. And then I was on the Drudge Report today, and they're buying riot gear for Cleveland because that's where the brokered convention will be if there is one. So I mean, this is just a crazy fucking election. And again, looking back at this Kansas caucus, I mean, come on. I mean, I'm not dumb. I mean, this is just ridiculous. And then like other states too that were close were like a big swing. And Trump lost Maine big. He almost lost Kentucky, which he was up big in. So I mean, it looks pretty obvious that they're fucking messing with the voting numbers here. And there were reports also in Texas too of people voting for Trump and then having their vote switched to Marco. And then if you look in the county too, where it was all in like Travis County in Texas, where they were accusing the votes of being switched to Marco. And if you look at the Travis County, Marco was second and Trump was third. So there you go. I mean, definitely a lot of suspicious activity going on here. And the same thing happened in Iowa too. You know, if you looked at Iowa, I'm like, wow, that's weird. Trump was up in all the polls in Iowa. And then Ted Cruz just wins. It's like, well, something's got to be up there. At first I was like, okay, it's not like Trump lost big. Maybe Cruz won, without any dirty tricks. But then we figure out a week later, oh, he lied about Ben Carson. So there you go. And then the voicemails come out of him calling people saying, yeah, Ben Carson's out, but, don't vote for Ben, which fucked over Ben. And then he's like, oh, I'm sorry, Ben Carson. And then Ben Carson, I mean, being the pussy he is, I mean, that guy, I like his policies and all, but he's got to be fucking tougher. I mean, he just had a guy fucking con him out of an election in Iowa. And then he's like, well, it's okay. My Christian values have taught me to forgive. No. You have to fucking bash him for that, Carson. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about here. This election's just getting crazy. And you would have to be a dumb fuck not to at least suspect voter fraud or some dirty tricks being played by Ted Cruz. Especially this guy is Ted Cruz, now that the election's at stake, now that he's, down to the final four here. He's really showing his true colors and his devious ways. I mean, he really is tricky Ted Cruz there. Tricky Ted. So there you go, people. Ted Cruz is a liar. Marco is a fucking, like Trump called him, Little Marco. He's the establishment's little boy right there. And then you got Kasich, who's just a fucking moderate, pretty much a Democrat, who's also looking to get, take votes away from Trump too, and then maybe get in with the brokered convention. It doesn't matter if Trump has like 900 delegates, Cruz will have like 600, Marco has 100, and Kasich with like 20, however many. Kasich has 50, let's say. Oh, then they'll give the nomination to Romney. I mean, the brokered convention is so fucking dumb. The nominee should just go to the person with the most fucking delegates. You know, this whole process is just so dumb. You know, the state should just vote on the fucking same day, if you really think about it. Have them all vote on the same day. I mean, this is just fucking retarded. How they, you know, drag it out for what? For what? I don't know. For political purposes, for TV ratings, you know. So, oh, watch Super Saturday, watch Super Tuesday, watch this, watch that, you know, or whatever. So I'm just pissed off at this whole process because they're clearly trying to bring down Trump with all possible tricks. So there you go, people.